going on, Blossom's back, and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives and another episode of What Can You Get From That Pack. Obviously, the pack in question today is the 2005 Carbon Fiber, which is the pack that you need to open to get the cars to help you win the Renault RS01 prize car going on right now in Top Drives. Now, until this very second, I am still gobsmacked that we can actually not only unpack the Bugatti Veyron, but use it, and it's immediately a key car. Like, I thought, okay. I thought we were gonna be in a situation where, all right, fine, we can use the Bugatti Veyron, okay? Because obviously I knew that pretty early when I unpacked it for my qualifiers. And I was thinking, okay, but there's no way Hutch would actually make the Bugatti Veyron key. That would be evil because it would win by like 100 million points. So maybe all the track sets will be slalom. Maybe there's going to be a little bit of wet, which doesn't really matter because the Veyron's four-wheel drive. Maybe there was going to be City Streets medium because, you know, there are a lot of epic mediums. No, none of that. No, this is literally just like bending over for the Bugatti Veyron this final. I'm going to put the track sets right here. And as you can see, straight off the bat, we got Tokyo G-Force, Twisty Road, Tokyo Bridge, Tokyo Off-Ramp, and Slalom. So I think that is probably the most forgiving track set if you don't have a Bugatti Veyron, because for the second one, as you can see, there's a freaking 1 mile. There's also a Tokyo Drag, Tokyo Overpass. Those three are all really fast track sets. Hairpin Road and the Tokyo Bridge. Third track set, Tokyo Bridge, Hairpin Road, there's a half mile, a Tokyo Drag again, and a Tokyo G-Force. And then finally on the last track set, Tokyo Loop, Tokyo Bridge, Twisty Circuit, Tokyo G-Force, and Tokyo Off-Ramp, which means Tokyo Loop is basically like a test bowl. It's not really a test bowl, but it basically is a test bowl because Tokyo Loop, you want to go 3-3-2 most of the time. So 3 out of 4 track sets, there's a drag. You can use a Bugatti. I don't care if you own the Pagani or the Ford GT, you're not going to get close to the Bugatti if you're going against, like, I'm actually surprised. You let me know down in the comments below if you like this kind of final or not, because obviously this kind of final might annoy some people because if you don't have this one car, you're basically screwed. But then the other kind of final, which is like the ones that you see for, I don't know, the Rimac Nevera, where, yeah, all the legendaries, the high-end cars are similar, but they're all really trash. So what stings more? The fact that there is one car that you may not have that will be plaguing you, or the fact that you might have a legendary but it's really bad and you have to max it out to win a car? Like, would you rather max an EB110, like the blue one, or suffer not having the Veyron? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the question that you gotta ask yourself if you don't have the Veyron, of course. For me, I would rather suffer not having the Veyron than maxing an EB. I won't even own an EB. Hell no. If I ever unpack that, it's getting sold. But anyway, I've been staring at this screen for way too long. As you guys know, in this series, I split the pack into 2 parts: how useful the car is in the final and how useful the car is in a general sense. So I'm going to start with the final once again. We have prize car winning, possible prize car winning, not enough by themselves, no chance, and go see a doctor. So unlike the Koenigsegg Gemera finals, there isn't anything too special over here. The top 5 cars are the top best cars. That's it. I mean, technically the Caterham CSR isn't a top 5. The 5th car is actually the Mitsubishi, but the Caterham CSR really takes the cake because it's going to be your twisty car. It's super lightweight, super low 0 to 60, decent handling for, you know, its niche in 2005. The only thing that you need to remember for the Caterham is that it has 49 MRA. So that's going to be, like, in some cases, the Ford GT and the Nissan might actually beat the CSR, although the CSR has a lower 0 to 60. Because when you think about it, some of the track sets in here, you're seeing Hairpin Road, Tokyo Overpass, you're seeing Tokyo Bridge. Some of these actually require a bit more MRA-based cars, and the Ford GT has 88 MRA. So even though the Ford GT isn't a good legendary, it might actually get value over the Caterham CSR. You know what I mean? Because there's no slalom G-force every track set, you know? Moving on to possible prize car winning, I mean, once again, it's pretty fundamental stuff. It's just the higher end epics you can get from the 2005 pack. The Mitsubishi, the Chrysler Firepower, because it has really good on-paper stats because it's a low ground clearance car. So although it's lower RQ compared to the Bentley, compared to the Cadillac, it is better because it has better stats than those 2 cars. The only reason why it's lower in RQ is because it's not medium. The Impreza as well as a TVR. Still, I'm really surprised there's no City Streets medium in this final. Not enough by themselves would be the Cadillac Stsv, the TVR Tuscan, and then we have 3 ultra rares. Basically, in my opinion, I think these are the 3 best ultra rares. You have the Lotus Exige S2, which brings 98 handling for an ultra rare. You have the TVR Tuscan Convertible, which brings 3.2. 3.3 0 to 60 for an ultra rare if you 996 it. So, you know, it's got a very low 0 to 60. Then you have the Nissan Micra, which is a nice, you know, lightweight hybrid car. And then for no chance, you obviously have the worst of the worst epic, the Bentley Continental Flying Spur. This thing is hot garbage, okay? And then we have the Subaru Imprezas. Now, these two Imprezas, especially the 62, the blue one, is actually pretty decent. It's just that the fact that it's four-wheel drive and, you know, the finals is all dry, you're just not going to get as much value from the Subaru than you would from the Exige, the Tuscan Convertible, or even the Nissan. And then you have the Aston Martin V8 Vantage and the Jaguar XKR. Now the Jaguar XKR, maybe you can bring it up because it has 90 MRA, but at the end of the day, I would choose the Tuscan Convertible over the XKR anyway. And then for Go See a Doctor, these are cars that are absolutely no chance in hell is going to win you the Renault. If you win the Renault with any of these cars and Go See a Doctor, please contact me with proof, because I just cannot see that happening. We're talking all-service tire cars, really low RQ50 performance tire cars, some standard tire cars in here. None of these cars are gonna get. You would have to have 4 Bugatti Veyron 16.4s, okay? Or maybe 2 Bugattis and like 2 Caterham CSRs, something like that. And then maybe for the memes, maybe you can put in like a Mustang GT or even a Volkswagen R32. But outside of that realm of possibility of exaggeration, there is no chance in hell that you can win with those cars. But anyway, that's basically just my rundown for the final. It's really fundamental, really pedestrian. Now let's get to the second part of the video where I rank every car in a general sense. So the second part is basically like if you want to open the pack but you have no chance in the final, but you want to open the pack for pack's sake because you have the gold. Is it worth it or is it not? Well, we're about to find out, so let's get to that. Hey yo, real quick, I just want to say that we are in the final stretch, boys. The final stretch to 10,000 subscribers. Just, I think like 990 subscribers to go. So let's get 10,000. If you're watching right now and you haven't clicked that big red button, please, what are you doing? Please help me. Thank you. Anyway, let's get back. Alright, well, you guys know how it works around here. We got Der Kaiser, Daily Driver, Frequent Provider, Pernicious Ulcer, and of course, in all caps, say it with me, guys, hot garbage. Alright, let's get into it. We start off with the Porsche Cayman. It's a Pernicious Ulcer. Now, it has 71 MRA, and once again, I have Top Drives Club open on my second computer over here. So the MRA is okay, and the handling is alright, and it's quite light, coming in at 1,300. Now, the 0 to 60 is absolutely atrocious, but the handling and the MRA, I would give it Pernicious Ulcer. I even have it maxed myself. The next one is the BMW Convertible. 82 MRA on this bad boy, but the handling, 77 handling. I mean, you can think of rares, even uncommons, that handle better than that. So no, absolutely not. It's hot garbage. It's safe for the Range Rover Sport. You're getting an incredibly heavy car, coming in at 2,500 kgs, no MRA. I mean, it's an SUV, so you kind of get to buy on that. You know, really bad 0 to 60, bad handling, just a bad car all around. Definitely hot garbage. Next one is the BMW. Oh my goodness. Also, once again, 3 hot garbages in a row. Not looking too good for this pack. Okay, now we get something a little better. We have the Nissan Micra, and I'm going to put that under Daily Driver. This is a pretty good one. 1,250 kgs with 61 MRA. Now, 61 MRA isn't good, but once again, it's a Japanese car, so that's to be expected, honestly. 4.90 to 60, 82 handling for an RQ53. That's value, and for that, I'm giving it Daily Driver. Next up is the Ford Mustang, and that's going to be a frequent provider. Once again, a lot of value for RQ53. The handling is so-so, but the 0 to 60 is low, and the main kicker about the Ford Mustang, obviously I call it the 5.079, if you remember the song, the jingle, is medium ground clearance. And for a medium ground clearance car at RQ53, with the stats that it provides, it's a great bargain for your buck. Now, next one is going to be the BMW i30i, 130i. That's going to be a Pernicious Ulcer. 71 MRA, you know. 5.80 to 60 is weak, but the handling is, it's alright. It's literally like borderline alright for a medium ground clearance car. A lot of German cars, ultra rares, just don't handle it. It's quite strange, actually. Next one is the Maserati Grand Sport. I'm going to give that frequent provider. Really good stats for an RQ56. 4.90 to 60, 82 handling. Now, no MRA, 64, very heavy, but it has a convertible niche. I'm going to give it frequent provider. Next up on the list is going to be the Subaru Legacy 2.0 GT BP, British Petrol, I guess that's what it stands for. It's going to be a Pernicious Ulcer. The only thing I can really see in this car is the fact that it has traction control and ABS, and it's an estate. That's it. There are a lot of Subarus that handle better. You know, the four-wheel drive performance tire aspect that this Subaru provides doesn't carry it that much because all Subarus are four-wheel drive, and medium ground clearance anyway. So, there you go. Next up is the Lotus Exige S2. This is going to be... Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going there. The Lotus Exige S2 is just a pernicious ulcer. It really is. It has 85 MRA. It has 88 handling. But at the same time, I never use it because, okay, here's the thing, right? It has 85 MRA, but the top speed is 147. What does that even matter? You're not going to put it on a 1 mile. You're not going to put it on a test bowl. And the 0 to 60, 5.8 is freaking atrocious, okay? For RQ56, 5.8 0 to 60. When you think about it, this RQ50 BMW with 82 MRA, so only 3 less MRA, has a 5.5 0 to 60. So you put those two cars in the drag, guess what? The BMW is going to win anyway. So honestly, it's not a good car. The main reason why I'm not putting the S2 in hot garbage is because it has 88 handling. It is very light. It has some saving graces, but the negatives outweigh the positives here. That's going to be a bit controversial. I feel like a lot of people are going to be mad that I put the S2 as pernicious. Also, you need to remember as well that the Campaign Lotus RQ50, and for 3 RQ more, you can use a Lotus 340R. So there you go. Next up, the Chrysler 300C is a frequent provider. Very low 0 to 60, okay? That's a standard tire saloon, and it is half a second faster to 60 compared to the Exige S2. It just shows you how bad the 0 to 60 on the Exige is. It's actually just useless at that point. Aston Martin V8 Vantage is also going to be a frequent provider. It's a bit of a hybrid car, lose by 50 kind of thing. You probably know it by now. Jack of all trades, master of none. Then we have Baby Driver. Ooh, Baby Driver. Baby Driver, I'm going to give it frequent provider, for sure. It's a lightweight car, coming in at 1,385, so relatively lightweight. MRA is, 62, but it has 82 handling. It's a Subaru that handles, and once again, it brings the 4-wheel drive and the medium ground clearance, which makes it just a little better compared to the Estate with 79 handling. Next up is the Volkswagen Golf R32, the fake R32 as I like to call it. That's going to be a pernicious ulcer. Honestly, I'm bumping it down to hot garbage. It's 5.80 to 60 on that. No. And the handling 80, I mean, when you think about it, like the BMW also brings 80 to the table. Can't really compare it. I get it. This is 4-wheel drive. And I really hate Volkswagen. Maybe if I was generous, I would give it pernicious ulcer, but I absolutely hate Volkswagen. Like, I don't think it's wrong to put it in hot garbage, so I'm gonna put it in hot garbage. Next up is the Jaguar XKR, and that's also gonna be a frequent provider. It has a really good MRA, 87 MRA, and it has decent handling at 81. You max that thing out 233, you hit 90. The only main thing bringing it down is the 0 to 60. 5.0 for RQ60 is a little bit underwhelming if you ask me. It could be better, especially when you think about the other dragsters like the BTR and the Tamura, or even if you go down the RQ, the Charger 3 or the Lamborghini Miura. That car, the XKR just cannot compete with them. But yeah, moving on, it's still a decent car though, with the good MRI, the handling, and the high top speed. The Cadillac Sts is next, and it's also a frequent provider. It handles well for a standard tire car, and that's really about it. 86 handling for standard tires. The rear wheel drive thing really bogs it down a little bit, and it's a heavy car as well. But at the end of the day, the Cadillac, it's average. Then we have the Tuscan Convertible, and the Tuscan Convertible once again is a frequent provider. Seriously, these Ultras not looking very good. 79 MRA, so it has a very low 0 to 60 and a high top speed, but that's where the positives lie, positives end. Still gonna lose to Tamura, still gonna lose to a Roof BTR, so there's no point. But yeah, I mean, there is value. I do recognize the value in the Tuscan Convertible. I do recognize that it serves its own niche, and it has a really good top speed, a low 0 to 60, and for that, I'm giving it a freaking provider. Now, moving on is the Subaru Impreza. This is the daily driver. Finally, something good. Now, why is because this is the best ultra-rare Subaru with performance tires, because we can't count the Legacy BW in this. So when it comes to 4-wheel drive, medium ground clearance, performance tire Subarus, that's my top pick right there. 66 MRA, and it has the perfect combination of a low 0 to 60 at 5.6 and handling at 83. Now moving on, last but not least for the ultra rares is the Mazda 6 MPS. The Mazda 6 MPS is a pernicious ulcer. I know that some people have said that that car is a bit of a sleeper and that it's good. 61 MRA, it handles pretty well, I would give it that. 4-wheel drive, and it's quite lightweight, but once again, 5.80 to 60 for RQ63. It's atrocious. It is absolutely atrocious. And 61 MRA, I mean, really the only thing that's good about this car is that it handles quite well for a four-wheel drive car, but that's about it. It has traction control and ABS as well, but at the end of the day, I'd never use it, man. Pernicious ulcer. Next one is going to be the Epic. So now we start off with the TVR Tuscan S. Pernicious ulcer. You can get value out of it, to be fair, if you max it out, but the entire idea of maxing out an RQ65 Epic just doesn't sit well with absolutely anybody. The MRA is 77, which is, not bad, but it's not good. The main thing that stands out for the Tuscan S is the fact that it has a very low 0 to 60 and a very high top speed, which is actually a really good combination. But the only reason why I'm not putting it under frequent provider is because, well, it doesn't provide frequently. There are a bunch of cars that are just better, so unfortunately it's going to be a pernicious ulcer. The Chrysler Firepower, same thing, it's a pernicious ulcer. Truly, it really is. 79 MRA, 85 handling is pretty good. The 4.50 to 60 is very weak, and the 174 top speed is pretty decent. I am thinking about bumping it up a little bit to frequent provider. The 85 handling really, you know what? I will bump it up. It's a low frequent provider, a high pernicious ulcer kind of situation. Moving on is the TVR Sagaris. The TVR Sagaris is going to be a frequent provider as well. I would say it's average. I wouldn't say that it provides frequently, but it will provide more frequently than the Tuscan S because it has the same 0 to 60. It handles a little better, and it has better MRA. 83.92. It's a very lightweight car as well, coming in at 1,078 kilograms. Next up is the Cadillac Stsv. And the Cadillac Stsv, this one for sure is a pernicious ulcer, okay? I get it. The main thing about the Cadillac Stsv is that it has amazing MRA. 90 MRA, and it's medium. But here's the thing. It has handling numbers of a super rare, 0 to 60 numbers of maybe like a high-end ultra rare, very low-end epic, so not 70, like 65, and the top speed, it's standard. It's 155. If you have 90 MRA, you want to use the full, what's the word I'm looking for? I have to cut the video now, don't I? Because I'm actually missing out one word. Blossom. What the hell? You want to use like the full usage. That wasn't what the usage wasn't the word I was thinking of, but you just want to use the full usage, okay, of the Cadillac Stsv, but you can't because you want to use that 90 MRA, but it only hits like 155, not even. If you put the thing on a test, it'll probably hit like maybe 148, 149, 147, my guess. So yeah, it's a pernicious ulcer. Jesus Christ, this pack is looking like crap, isn't it? The Caterham CSR, is it a daily driver? I feel like I might be biased because it's really useful in the final, but like I said, I am comparing this in a general sense, and truly, it's just a frequent provider, bro. The fact of the matter is, the CSR is just a worse version of the JPE, and of course, the Superlight. I never use the CSR. In fact, I'm maxing my CSR now only for this final, and I've had it for years, So yeah, the CSR is a frequent provider. It's a very low 0 to 60. The handling is actually, to be honest, trash. For a Caterham, it's actually trash. And it's not even going to compete with the Donkervoorts, because the Donkervoorts are like 88, 89, stock, or yeah, 88, 89, that range. So 86 is actually trash. And then you have the MRA. 49 MRA, but the main thing that lifts the CSR up is that it's really light, as you expect from a Caterham, and it has a very low 0 to 60, and that's where it ends. The Bentley Continental Flying Spur is hot garbage. Move on. The Subaru is going to be, I'm going to give it daily driver. There are better four-wheel drive, medium ground clearance JPT Subarus out there that handle better as well. So because of that, I'll put it in frequent provider, but it's a pretty high frequent provider, all things considered. And then with the Mitsubishi Evo, and that's going to be, once again, a frequent provider. I can't bring it up there because for the same reason as the Caterham CSR, the Evo is good, 87 handling, four-wheel drive medium, but it's still going to lose to the Evo 10 and the Evo 9. So because of that, it's just average, man. It's just average. The RQ is too close to those other two cars that I just mentioned for it to be special. And then the legendaries. The first one is the Ford GT, and I'll give that a daily driver, sure. 88 MRA, decent, I would say average weight, 1,500. Good handling, okay. Not even good handling. It's okay. You see, a part of me really wants to rank these cars higher, just because like this pack is already so bad when you're looking at it. But honestly speaking, the Ford GT is at most average. 88 MRA, 89 handling is not good for 83 RQ, to be completely honest with you. The 0 to 60 is low and the top speed is high, but it doesn't even have traction control. At most, it's average, man. I can't bring it up as much as I want to. And it's actually the same. It's actually the same for the, oh my goodness. This pack is sauce. I love the Nismo Z2 R34. It's actually a wish listed car of mine. I do want it in my garage. But once again, 3.487. It's gonna get sent to Gapplebee's by, you know, basically the Evo 10 and the Evo prize car, right? And obviously the Evo 10 is going to be max because most of the time the Z2 isn't going to be max. So if you get that to 1 star, it would be like what, 3.290, something like that. The handling is the main part. You gotta max out the handling on the GTR for it to have value. The MRA on the GTR is also really trash, 73.91. It's an average car. I'll tell you what though, the last two are Der Kaiser. So we have that going for us, okay? The Bugatti's a Bugatti, 101 MRA, 2.42 to 60, and 253 by the way. Shout out to Coma. But yeah, 253 top speed, and the Pagani's on the F, right? 99 MRA, 3.52 to 60, 90 handling. So it's actually the best handling car here that's on the F, and a very high top speed. But yeah, that's how I would rate this pack in a general sense. My God, is it crap. Jesus, come on. 2 Der Kaiser, 2 daily driver. Everything else is either average or crap. A part of me, like, I cannot move the Evo, the CSR, the GTR, and the GT. I cannot move them up. There are just too many factors that bring them down. I can't. They're average cars at best. But anyway, that's going to be my very honest assessment of the 2005 carbon fiber. Yeah, the Bugatti and the Zonda are nice. Yeah, you know, you have a really good Subaru Ultra for JPT and a decent Nissan. That's it though. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Oh, verdict. Should you open it? No, absolutely not. Am I going to open it? No, absolutely not. Unless you're a French collector like Val and you really want a Bugatti, right? Or you really want the Renault because you're a French collector, the prize car. Then if you're not any of those, don't open this. It's actually hot garbage. But anyway, hope you guys have a great day. I hope you found this video helpful, and good luck in the finals. Tell me what your hand is going to be. But remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville
Atlantic.
Blonde hair, don't care, look like Leslie Brooks. Pin up girls everywhere with the drop dead look. Swing it side to side as we slow dance to the night, when I'll hold your perfect hand and take you out just for a ride.